Just landed in Nashville. Going to get my rental car. They told me it was a Beetle. So I made this record in Nashville, and it was funny how it all came together. I was writing this new set of songs and really praying about, okay, Lord, like I really want the right producers to create this sound. And so in that time of prayer, I got a call from a booking agent out of Nashville. And as we started talking, he asked me kind of what was next in terms of, my music. And I said, well, I have a new album, in the works. And he said, oh man, you got to work with this guy, Rick. And I was like, great. And he kind of goes along to tell me Rick's, who Rick has worked with and whatnot. And it turns out that Rick was definitely someone that I really wanted to work with. And he had worked with some of my favorite artists growing up. He had done a lot with Grits as their DJ and had written a lot for them with DC Talk, with Toby Mac. And those are two bands that I just adored as a kid and still to this day love. And so I was excited. I was over the moon excited about this chance to work with someone who had worked with some of my favorite bands. And so he goes and kind of gets in touch with Rick. Rick and I get in touch then, and we start talking about the project. And Rick, was excited to work on it. Once I had everything ready, because at that point I didn't even have the songs ready. So in my mind, I was like, I can't lose this opportunity. I got to get to work. And so I really started, digging in and working on these tracks. I flew to Nashville like a week or two later. And Rick and I met for coffee and kind of just talked through how, the tracks and the vision for the album and who we want involved. And from that point on, that's when the project really came real, is when we had that conversation and started, mapping out the direction of this record. From that point, I came back here and to my little studio space at my house, and I started demoing out all the songs. And then I put together this huge, felt like a report of, the title of every song, the lyrics of all the songs, the vision I have for the song, the meaning of the song, all of these different things, and then sent that down there in hopes to kind of create this guideline for the record in terms of what I want it to be. And that was, I think, really good to, for them to have. And then they took it, and Rick brought on this guy, Andrew, who's a buddy of his from his church, who is an incredible producer as well. And they had just such a unique way of getting into my head and into my heart and discovering the sounds that I didn't even know I wanted, in these tracks. And so they really, really brought this album to life in a way that I really hadn't anticipated, that I was praying for. And the Lord clearly answered that prayer, because I was praying for people like these two that could bring this record to life in a way that I didn't know I wanted, but was perfect. One of the things that surprised me most about the record is I left Nashville, when I went down there for the last time, actually the weekend before Katie and I got married. And I left there having been way more impacted by my time with Rick and Andrew than anything we had done with the record. I love these songs. I think this album really speaks to who I am and my growth as an artist and the sound that I'm creating. But more than that, Rick and Andrew, they're just authentic, awesome guys. And I was caught off guard by how authentic and genuine and real they were. Both of them are heavily involved in the ministries of their church, and to see, just to see that, and to see how, that their priorities lie in the gospel, even over their careers, was awesome. And Rick's example as a husband and as a dad spoke volumes to me, especially as a man who is just about to get married. So their witness of just selflessness and love and joy, just authentic joy, spoke way more to me than anything we did on this record. And that was really cool to see people who were as accomplished as they were, and the records that they had worked on and the people that they had worked with, and to see how genuine and real and just downright fun they were was really cool. It was a huge blessing that came from this project.